What do you hope that the fans walk away feeling when they go and see the Justice League? If you want to just go down the line quick.
It's a beautiful, amazing story. I want them to go back and watch it with more people.
And I hope they'll like to watch Justice League 2, so we have more to explore.
I also hope that people just have fun and enjoy the ride and get as much enjoyment out of the camaraderie of the group as we did, in performing it.
Yeah, just that exhilaration when you see a film and you really like it and then you're excited and you can't sleep and you just think about it a lot. I hope some people have that.
I sincerely hope that people walk away from it and they can feel what it was like for us to be a part of something so much larger than any one of us.
For me, I hope people walk away from it just, first of all, having enjoyed it and had fun, but more importantly, to have been inspired and to walk away with a sense of hope.
What did you think of Justice League?
It wasn't as big a clusterfuck as Batman vs. Superman. It's still a pointless waste of my time and life.
Most of what I did was stare open-mouthed in a state of perpetual disbelief that any movie in existence could possibly be so unrepentantly awful.
Do you want to do something this week?
Yeah, sure. Wow, Hendrix. This movie's fucking boring. And it sucks.
Hey, Ralph. What's going on with your facial hair? You kind of look like a homeless bum.
Oh, I'm growing out my hair for a role where I play like a drug dealer, slimy guy. What's going on with your lip there, Macon?
What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean.
It looks like there's CGI on top of it or something.
You know what? Stop bullying me. Fuck you. I'm gonna tell everyone you're a Trump supporter.
I'm not a Trump supporter.
Oh, yeah, right. You don't like Black Panther and Wonder Woman because they're shitty movies? Fuck you, you racist. I'm gonna drink my kratom somewhere else. You better watch it, Ralph the Movie Maker.
Whatever. Wanna watch Justice League? It's probably better than this shitty, boring, black and white. Why is it black and white? Why can't it be in color? Good movies are in color.
When I saw it on VOD a few months ago, I was just baffled. Afterward, I recorded this suicidal voice note and put it on Patreon. This is the lowest common denominator of film, made for the lowest common denominator of human being. If you watch this and you think this is a good movie, I don't even want to talk to you. This movie made me upset. So how do we get here? The DC cinematic universe has been a disaster. I've been covering this shit since I was 16 years old, and I've been pissed. Just fucking pissed. So they got the first movie in their series, right? They wanted Chris Nolan to do something. Chris Nolan's like, nah, I made the Dark Knight trilogy, I'm out.
Was this always set to be a trilogy?
So they go, okay, so let's get D-list Chris Nolan, and let's have him make a realistic take on Superman.
You think you can threaten my mother?
The first third of the movie was confusing and weird. The alien world was dumb. And then you got to the second third of the movie, which was just boring. It's just a kid going around a neighborhood, bunch of bad dialogue.
Dick splash.
Dick splash. And then the last third of the movie is a bunch of invincible people punching each other through fucking buildings. Wow, Superman, at least you rescued that family. Thank God. Speaking of tragedies, Batman v Superman came out 3 years later, and it somehow managed to be worse.
And he's coming!
The Martha scene is a total joke.
Why did you say that name?
Their fight is dumb and way too short for a movie called Batman v Superman. Everything before that fight was boring and made no sense. Batman was okay when he was fighting, that's it. Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal of Lex Luthor is just not good. I don't think Jesse Eisenberg is a bad actor. I think he's a great actor. He's just not good as Lex Luthor. I can see what he was trying to do, but it just came across laughably stupid.
You, my friend, have a date. Across the bay.
Shortly after, Suicide Squad came out, which might have been a good movie at some point.
This is Katana. She's got my back. Her sword traps the souls of its victims.
And what we end up having is 8 different movies combined into a 2-hour-long movie. And tonally, it's all over the place. The movie has an ugly color palette. It's like you're watching a movie through fucking dirty toilet water. Most of the acting is just ass.
What, we some kind of Suicide Squad.
And the movie's good. The movie has a great heart, and the movie's made for the fans.
Then you have Wonder Woman, which is slightly better than these colossal disaster nightmares. Because it actually had a story and characters that made sense and were consistent. The cinematography was okay at times. Like, you could see what was going on. It wasn't all dark and green. But while it's a competent movie, it's just a competent movie. It's pretty standard and dull. Nothing really memorable about it. And there are some pretty bad moments as well. I covered all these movies in more depth over the years. So you gotta admit the build-up to the Justice League was pretty bad. Now, to be clear, all these movies did well financially. All of this stuff before Justice League had to be good in order for the build-up to Justice League to work. You know, people were excited before the Avengers came out. And hey, at least the Marvel movies were consistent in tone and made sense and weren't god-awful. And I could fucking see the image. Although one thing has been pretty consistent with DC. Inconsistency. DC is so concerned with following trends that they can't do their own thing, ever. They're always copying what Marvel's doing. Meanwhile, by the time they end up copying what Marvel's doing, Marvel's already trying something else and stays ahead of DC. We're gonna add jokes, we're gonna make it more colorful. We're gonna add in pink graphics and make the trailer all silly and add in fun pop music. And then Wonder Woman, they just went completely off the rails. Just like, okay, just copy Captain America and Thor, alright? And then we get to Justice League, and this is them copying the Avengers. They even got Joss Whedon to come in and do reshoots. He wrote and directed the Avengers. And let me tell you something. Avengers is a good goddamn movie. Yeah, it's silly. It's a superhero movie. Captain America's suit looks stupid as hell. It kind of looks like a TV movie just because of how flat the lighting is for all of the movie. But it's still a pretty good movie. The cast is fantastic and they all have great chemistry. Each of them is given enough time to develop their character just enough to make them interesting. But no one's given too much screen time to where you feel like someone's hogging up the show. You got lots of fan service and lots of action. It's just a crowd-pleasing, entertaining movie. And that's why it's one of the highest grossing movies of all time. It totally did its job. Now we got the Justice League.
Superman's a no-show. You got no powers, no offense. This guy might be working for the enemy, we don't know. And you know what? I don't want to die. Maybe I'm scared because I'm meant to.
Zack Snyder directed most of the film, but he had to step away from the project due to a tragedy in his life. And in all likelihood, if Zack Snyder was still directing this movie, all of this would have came out very different.
We were saddened by the events that caused Zack Snyder and Deborah Snyder to have to leave and turn the reins over to Joss Whedon. But he was already working with us on some of the scenes for the additional photography that we're going to be doing shortly, and it was fortunate that Zack convinced him and he agreed to step in and finish the movie, help Zack finish his vision, and we're excited about that.
So anyway, they got Joss Whedon, they give him Zack Snyder's movie, and they say, what's up? Let me tell you something, Joss Whedon. We got this movie here, Justice League. It's directed by Zack Snyder, and we know you made that Avengers movie, which is really good. So we're wondering, can we just give you all the footage that Zack shot, and you could just make it into something that people would actually want to see? And then Joss Whedon's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do that. Well, why don't you go look outside your window right now? And then Joss Whedon looks outside his window, and he sees a giant dump truck filled to the brim with gold. So Joss Whedon takes on the project. He takes all Zack Snyder's footage, and he ups the saturation. He reshoots some scenes to give some characters more interesting stuff to do. Some of the actors weren't available for some of the reshoots, so you can see that they used body doubles at certain points. Like around here, you can see Gal Gadot's body double. There's points Ben Affleck has a body double. They edited the movie down to like 2 hours. They added a few more jokes and funny, quippy bits where the actors are supposed to like play off each other and have charisma and chemistry.
I was wondering if you could put out the feeler, the aquatic, I mean, do you talk to fish?
The water does the talking. Of course. If the current comes in strange, it may point the way.
That's what I thought of that. I had fun during the movie just trying to figure out what was reshot and what was part of the original cut. There are certain scenes that literally go from original cut to reshoots in the same scene. Like, you got shots of Ben Affleck, and then in the following shot of him, his hair is different, and the angle is slightly different, and the lighting is different. And this happens a lot in the movie. Just constantly hairline changes and lighting changes, and you're like, oh, that looks a little weird. It looks different than that shot. It's so funny. There are lots of good videos online, which I'll link in the description, just like pointing out all of the little things that are different.
In the reshoots, there are 4 rows of tattoos, and in this, the older principal photography, we had only 3 rows.
You can see Zack Snyder's cut of the movie. The color correction is different. It's a lot darker. Warner Brothers and Joss Whedon clearly made an effort to brighten everything up. And like the producer said, Joss Whedon was brought on way before this whole Zack Snyder incident. So when the studio said that they were staying true to Zack Snyder's vision, I can't help but not believe them. Whatever Zack Snyder came up with is probably better than this.
People are difficult. They require a lot of focus. They have like a rhythm that I haven't quite been able to... Like brunch. Like, what is brunch? You wait in line for an hour for essentially lunch. I mean...
Something Joss Whedon also added in was this Russian family. They get attacked by the bug creatures that Steppenwolf sent over. I don't know what the hell this is doing in the movie. It serves no purpose at all, and we keep cutting back to them. Like, you could have spent this time developing other characters. Why are we spending it on this Russian family who Flash just rescues at the end?
Dostoevsky.
Joss Whedon also liked tweets that were critical toward aspects of the movie. So why did Joss Whedon agree to make this movie? Well, he was offered a shot at directing a Batgirl movie, which he's always wanted to make, apparently. Unfortunately, he backed away from the project earlier this year. So there goes that.
Alright, first part of the review done. Smoking a herbal cigarette, just relaxing, not watching any shitty movies. Not having
Hey, Ralph the
oh
Movie
my
Maker,
god.
what's going on?
What do you
Hey,
want?
I was just wondering, can you review the film Hannah from 2011?
Can't I relax for 2 seconds without you guys fucking recommending a movie?
And after you review that, can you review Paranormal?
I don't care about these movies at all. I don't care. Don't you know I'm ending the series? I'm ending Ralph the Movie Maker. Why are you still recommending things to me?
What?
Are you okay?
What? Yeah, I'm fine.
Look like you're about to pass out.
You keep doing your Justice League review. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. You'll see.
Sir, we have a problem. It's Ralph the Movie Maker. He's ending his show. That's what everyone tried telling this faggot, sir. But he won't listen. He won't listen. He's gonna end his show, and he's gonna be gone. I'll get it done.
Thanks, Alfred. But I'll take it from here.
Do I know you?
Who needs good characters when you'll sell toys no matter how poorly written they are? So we have our Justice League, which consists of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and last but certainly not least, The Flash.
I'm afraid of bugs and guns and obnoxiously tall people and murder, and I can't be here.
Yeah, there were all these other characters too, like Alfred's in it for a bit, Commissioner Gordon's in it for like 5 seconds, Mira's in it for a bit, but they don't serve any function in the story, they're just there for fan service. Oh look, it's Mira, you're gonna be seeing more of her in the Aquaman movie, doesn't it look great? Wow, I can't wait to see that. And we have a villain called Steppenwolf. I guess we'll start with him. So let's look at 2 Marvel attempts at making a big villain, right? So we got Loki, we got an actor playing him, you know, like there's a real person there. So I go, oh, it's a real person. And he has charisma, and he's funny. Wow, he's a really entertaining character to watch.
How will your friends have time for me when they're so busy fighting you? This usually works.
Oh, it's a CGI character.
Millennia in exile, searching,
At last, you call me home.
It looks really bad. There's already a level of disconnect, and I haven't even discussed his character, really. Like, the fact that he's CG, and not very good CG at that, takes a lot away from this character. Because you're constantly thinking, oh, it's not real, it's not real. And what good movies do is they actually give these CGI characters a personality. This is why Andy Serkis makes the big bucks, because he's able to give computer-generated models actual character. But let's talk about Thanos for a sec. Thanos is an entirely CGI purple man who was in Avengers Infinity War. First of all, I gotta give mad props to the VFX artists. You could tell a lot of time and money went into designing him and making him look real and making sure the textures look good. And there are lots of subtle nuances in Josh Brolin's performance that come across through the CGI character. There's actually a psychology to Thanos that anyone can easily understand. He didn't want to blow up the universe just cuz. What does Steppenwolf do? Oh, nothing. So we got a CGI character with no motivation. He just wants this box so he can blow up the earth or something. Who cares? He doesn't grow at all. He doesn't change. He's not scary. He doesn't give some intimidating speech. He's the most useless, boring villain you could conceive. So why is it that all DC villains have to be either an overacted buffoon who just constantly yells at people, I will find him, or a bland CGI guy who's big and shoots lasers at people? He has a box that's gonna blow up the earth. Oh my god, he has a box that's gonna blow up the whole earth. Oh my god, he has a box that's gonna blow up the whole earth. Then we got the Flash. Oh god. So people like this character, and I guess he has the most personality out of all of them.
You know that if she kills you, we'll cover for her.
Well, good job, everybody. Really good character you got.
That's the plan. Okay, we're not ready for racially charged.
Cyborg. Cyborg is a useless character. I know from insiders who worked on the movie that the scenes with Cyborg were so bad that the actor who played Cyborg, Ray Fisher, thanked Joss Whedon for cutting his scenes out of the movie. This is just a rumor, but hey, I believe it. All that's left for his character in the little time he has in the movie is, oh, I feel like a freak because I'm 95% bad CGI. And his arc is he learns to accept himself for the bad special effect he is, and then he punches more CGI monsters. You got Aquaman, boy. Aquaman is a joke of a character. Okay, seriously, everyone needs to stop with Aquaman. His power is he's a guy in the ocean who talks to fish. So you got the Justice League, and you gotta include Aquaman in the Justice League, right? I mean, you just can't not include him. And you have to make a movie about him, right? Because Aquaman's a big character. Who doesn't know Aquaman? But the problem is everyone knows Aquaman as a goddamn joke. So DC and Zack Snyder are like, okay, we gotta overcompensate and make Aquaman the most badass character ever. But the problem is no matter how much you do, it just makes him look sillier. Oh yeah, this Aquaman, this ain't your dad's Aquaman, this ain't your grandfather's Aquaman, dude. He's played by Jason Momoa. He's got huge muscles. At the end of the day, he's the same character. He talks to fish. Oh, but he can move the waves, dude. Great, who gives a shit? Wonder Woman's probably the best character in the movie. Her scenes are still bad, and you still got Gal Gadot's corny acting. Oh, I'm gonna pose. She's always posing all the time instead of just like being a normal character. It's the goofiest thing. And my god, is she really bad in this movie.
You have no idea what kind of power you're dealing with.
Even if there's a fraction of a chance.
The what? That we could raise a monster like Luthor did?
We have tech Luthor's never even seen.
Superman is dead.
My guess is that Patty Jenkins was a better actor's director than Zack Snyder is.
Why? Because of your guilt?
Like, oh, I'm just a good woman with no flaws at all. I have no problems with the team. I'm always supportive and caring. What's interesting about that? Let's see what's going on that Avengers ship.
He was really that naive. S.H.I.E.L.D. monitors potential threats.
Captain America.
Remind me again how you made your fortune.
You're on
I'm sure if you still made weapons, Stark would be making. Stark's the Earth was built for a high.
The whole movie, the Avengers are fighting each other and struggling. But at the end of the day, they pull together and become the Avengers, and that's satisfying. You just have all these people who don't have any conflict with each other at all, really. Yeah, well, I guess we'll make a good team. Let's do it. And then they fight a CGI monster you don't give a fuck about at all. You got Batman, played by Ben Affleck, who looks bored as hell. It looks like he wants to take a nap.
Fairy tales and ghost stories.
It's probably the fact that Ben Affleck is an alcoholic. That's okay, Ben. I'm addicted to crack. We all have our problems. I'm on opioids right now. Hold on, let me inject some heroin. This interpretation of Batman is up there with Joel Schumacher's interpretation of Batman.
7 million. Never leave the cave without it.
Everything that was mildly intriguing about Batman in Batman vs. Superman is completely absent in this movie. Not that I enjoyed Zack Snyder's take on Batman, because I also thought he was a total idiot in the movie. And Zack Snyder got rid of a lot of what I liked about Batman, like how eerie and mysterious he is. You know, now he's just out in broad daylight in a Mad Max coat, and he just punches people and kills people. Doesn't really do a lot of crime work. He kind of goes on his computer for a few seconds, and the computer does all the work for him. And then he just goes to the place and punches people. But in this movie, he doesn't even do that. The issue is, in the DC cinematic universe, when you got all these, like, super-powered guys and gods and all these demons coming out from portals and fighting each other, and all these guys are, like, indestructible, what the hell is Batman gonna do against these guys? Not much, and he doesn't really do much in this movie. He kind of acts as the Nick Fury. He wants to get everybody together because
There are enemies coming from far away. I need warriors.
I guess you needed Batman to do something, right? That's really the only thing Batman does in this movie. What else is he good for? Superman can fight him, Wonder Woman can fight him, Cyborg can fight them, maybe even Aquaman. He can talk to his fish. I guess he was able to beat Superman. That's only because Superman's an idiot. But who knows, maybe everyone in this world is stupid. I have no reason to believe otherwise at this moment.
F is for friends who do stuff together.
Zack Snyder succeeded in building a dark and brooding world with absolutely no tension because the world is populated with one-dimensional characters that are indestructible. So DC wants to be like a fun family film now. In the advertising, they kept talking about how fun the movie is, how much fun you're gonna have in the movie.
Also hope that people just have fun and enjoy the ride. And had fun.
Look how fun, it's so much fun. All the actors in the interviews are like, oh my god, it's gonna be so much fun. I hope the audience has fun. I hope you guys have fun. I hope the fans have fun. I hope everyone has fun. It's gonna be a fun time. Holy fucking fun. But that's clearly not what Zack Snyder envisioned with this movie. So the fact that DC went back and reshot scenes to give these characters some camaraderie, it just feels out of place and forced. Because that's exactly what it is.
Arthur. Yeah, that was a great way to get rid of Superman.
Man, I'm not doing this on purpose.
Right, because you can't control the machine.
So is this a bad time to bring up my blood sugar? Very hungry.
The Flash is supposed to be the comedic relief, and nothing he says is funny. He just keeps talking and talking. But whenever there's dead air, you just need him to come in and just say something. Hey, my shoes are hot from running fast, haha. Not even fans of the other DC movies like this movie. I'm serious. All the people who like Batman v Superman and Man of Steel are pissed off because they didn't get to see Zack Snyder's cut of the movie. They got to see this corporate, thrown together, watered down shitfest. The level of writing is like a children's movie or something, like Illumination made this. So I'm guessing this movie is targeted mainly toward children, like the Suicide Squad audience of like those edgy teenagers, you know, who go to Hot Topic. They wouldn't like this movie. So let's tell the story of Henry Cavill's mustache. Way back when they were shooting Mission Impossible 6, Henry Cavill grew out his mustache for the character for some reason. I guess he thought it would be good. Maybe he just wanted a mustache, I don't know. All of Henry Cavill's scenes for Justice League were shot by the time he started shooting Mission Impossible 6. But of course, when Joss Whedon came in as the director, he ordered reshoots, and Henry Cavill already had the mustache, and he's like, I ain't shaving it. For whatever reason, we can speculate. The studio and the director of Mission Impossible 6 said Henry Cavill couldn't shave his mustache, so they had to do the reshoots with Henry Cavill with the mustache. Sure, the guys making Mission Impossible 6 could have given him a fake mustache, but why would they? Maybe Henry Cavill just didn't feel like shaving his mustache for this stupid movie. He probably knew it was gonna suck. So what was Warner Brothers gonna do? All they could do was use CG to get rid of the mustache. And that's what they did, and it looked horrible. Warner Brothers spent $3 million to remove Henry Cavill's mustache. It's just hilarious to me. I mean, obviously you can't have Superman walking around with a mustache on. Maybe you should have planned out what you were doing before, Warner Brothers, instead of trying to change the entire tone of the movie halfway through making it.
Yes, it's meant to. It's meant to wind like a river. It comes and goes.
Can't you see it's not working? So this movie starts in a rather unexpected way, with iPhone footage taken by a bunch of kids of Superman. This is clearly one of the reshoots for you know, because of his lips. But I think I understand what Joss Whedon is trying to do here. Although this is a big epic superhero story, he wants to ground it in reality and make Superman seem humble and human by starting the film with a low-quality iPhone video. It's something you don't necessarily expect. And who knows, it could have worked, except something is throwing me off. So then we get our Batman introduction. There's some guy robbing a place, and he sees Batman and he shoots at him. Then out of nowhere, there's some flying CGI creature and Batman fights him. And then the CG monster explodes, and it leaves behind a symbol which Alfred sees and finds in Lex Luthor's notes, which makes Batman go, I'm gonna call the Justice League now because the symbol in Lex Luthor's notes is eerie. And then the dude Batman tied up earlier is like,
It's 'cause they know he's dead, right?
Superman.
He's gone. Where does that leave us?
and then the Justice League logo comes up. That's how you start your movie? Why is it shot like that?
It's 'cause they know he's dead, right?
Superman.
He's gone.
I felt like they just added that line in after the fact because the scene made no sense or something. They just needed a way for the scene to end. The only angle they have of that character who's saying that line of dialogue is this one. And it's like from far away and he's behind this water tower and he's off to the left. And he starts talking off camera. You don't even know who's talking.
He's gone.
Where is he looking to? The opening credits start and it's all dark and raining. Oh, everyone's sad. Listen to the sad piano song. Oh my god, it's so dark. Look how dark my movie is. Crime, homelessness, man. Oh, what's that? That doesn't sell? Alright, just make it all colorful then. Who cares? But sir, the opening credits are still pretty dark. Oh, whatever, just leave it. The next scene is Rose Bolton's robbing a bank or something. Oh no, if only someone was here to save the day. Cut to poorly rendered CGI statue that Wonder Woman is standing on top of as she makes a dumb face. She goes in, fights the guys or whatever. Slow motion, punching, kicking. She throws the bomb up in the air, blows up, yawn. And now Batman is somewhere cold. He's there to find Aquaman. So he goes into this room of people. This hasn't been established at all. Like, I don't know what this town is or where it is. Batman just goes there and he talks to this guy who's speaking a different language. So how does he even understand what Batman's saying?
Also known as Protector of the Oceans. The Aquaman.
The Aquaman, really? 20 minutes into the movie, they establish this box that's gonna blow up the planet and the villain steals it. This should have been way earlier in the movie. And why are no main characters here? Diana's mother is there, that's it. Everyone else are just nameless henchmen that got killed, whatever. How about you start the film, so you started on Wonder Woman's island, Wonder Woman's there. You know, just hanging out with their family or whatever. And then the villain comes down, kills a bunch of people, takes the box and leaves. We can also have some bad exposition where Diana's mother explains to her what this box is. But instead, the first 20 minutes of this movie is just Batman's over here doing something. The Flash is over here doing something. The Batman goes to Aquaman for some reason.
There are enemies coming from far away.
That's a little vague, isn't it? So there's this action sequence on this island. Diana's mother comes in and she explains what the box is, and before I even have time to process what it does and the stakes of the story, Steppenwolf comes in. I want your box, girl. And he takes the box and runs away with it. It's all CGI. There's not a single character I know in this entire scene. How can you feel any tension during this scene when it just looks so fake? So Steppenwolf takes the box. They call Diana, tell her there's been a great tragedy. A really dark moment in the story. What's the scene after this?
This janitor's wife had some strong words for the aliens she says stole her man.
My Howard is a good man.
He's a provider. And these aliens are gonna probe him?
But like, this movie needs more jokes. It needs more comedic levity. So let's take that TV that's over there and just throw in this stupid scene. This stupid scene that has no impact on the story, and it's not funny, and it features no characters we know, and we can just swap it out with anything if we really wanted to. Perhaps in Zack Snyder's cut of the movie, the television actually had some relevant piece of the story on it. Oh. It's Lois Lane and Superman's mom, two of the best characters. Oh boy.
Place was too big for me anyway, shuffling around like an old ghost.
Well, I might have been able to talk to someone.
These two characters talk. These two characters who no one cares about at all. And this guy comes in and he's like, yo, there's a story. Give me a scoop. Who cares? Why do these movies spend so much time on Lois Lane? No one wants to see what she's doing. No one cares. I get it's Amy Adams. I like Amy Adams a lot. She's in a lot of good movies. She's great in Sharp Objects. She's great in Arrival. She's great in American Hustle. She's great in so many movies. I love her, I love her, I love her. She sucks in this because you give her nothing to do. Stop throwing this character into these movies. Kill her off, please. Do anything with her. Just I don't want to see her anymore.
Take a look at this amazing acting. Wow, that's how I'd act if my son came back from the grave. So stupid. So Gal Gadot explains the backstory of Steppenwolf with generic, oh, he's a guy who's unstoppable, and then he was betrayed, and now he's back with the box, and he can blow everything up. Great, who cares?
Wouldn't count on the tribes of men. We tend to act like the doomsday clock has a snooze button.
God, you hit the snooze button before rolling the camera, Ben Affleck. Boy, are they holding a bottle of Jack Daniels behind the camera? So Ben Affleck drunk drives to Ezra Miller's house, and Ezra Miller's eating a pizza.
Of dimensional reality, and it seems to manipulate space-time. I call it the Speed Force. It causes me to burn a tremendous amount of calories, so I am just a black hole of snacks. I am a snack hole. How many people are on this special fight?
He's fucking eating a pizza! Nice Mercedes product placement. Meanwhile, Gal Gadot's on the back computer looking up some pornography, and she comes across a video where Cyborg is, like, in a chair. So she goes to visit Cyborg, and Cyborg's all, and whatever. And she's like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, okay, bye. And Jason Momoa is hanging out with Amber Heard, and Steppenwolf shows up, and they fight Steppenwolf underwater. J.K. Simmons is on a roof, and the Danny Elfman Batman music plays as Batman shows up. I don't understand that. And the whole Justice League show up. They go to an underground place where Steppenwolf is, and they punch him for a little bit, and they can't stop him, so they come to the conclusion that they need to resurrect Superman by digging up his grave and, like, doing something where the Flash has to run really fast and, like, I don't know, something, who cares? I don't even want to talk about this movie anymore. I just want to die. I want to go back to injecting heroin into my veins. Superman comes back to life. For some reason, his lip looks weird. That's what happens when you're resurrected. For some reason, your top lip doesn't move. That's the only thing, though. That's the only side effect. Amy Adams shows up, and she's like, and he's like, oh, it's her. And they go to a CGI field. They can't film it in a real field, because that's too hard. They go to a CGI field with his CGI lip.
This is home.
You smell good.
Good, got it, great, good.
And then we go to more CGI, and then we go to CGI Russia. All the characters stand in front of a green screen, and they punch, and they kick, and they shoot, and they jump, and they fall, and they blow up this, and hit that, and save this Russian family, and they run, and fighting, and Wonder Woman's, and fight, and shooting, and explosions, and Steppenwolf's like, God, I'm gonna kill you. When Superman comes in, he's like, nope. Fight, and they shoot, and they hit each other again. It goes on for 35 minutes. And then Amy Adams is at work again. She's at her computer.
You know, you were just watching the apocalypse happen, but aren't you interested in what Amy Adams is doing at her desk? Justice League had a budget of $300 million, and yet it's one of the cheapest looking movies I've ever seen. Everything is CGI, and it seems like nothing is polished. All of this stuff needed way more time and money. My guess is that they just didn't have time to render it all. They were constantly making changes. There was constantly new people coming in and out. You have that whole scene in the trailer that's at night. And then in the actual movie, it's daytime. They had to re-render the entire scene to make it daytime. They had to adjust all the color correction. They had to adjust all the visual effects. When you have no plan and you're just making it up as you go along and you keep adjusting things during the production, it's gonna come out bad. And you're gonna end up blowing a bunch of money on crap because you're constantly changing what you want. You look at Ridley Scott's movies and they all look great, and most of them are under $100 million, and you wonder why. He works on the script and he works with all the artists to make concept art. He works with the visual effects team to see what he can do and can't do. He figures out what he wants to do before he runs the fucking camera and starts spending tons of money. So DC's trying to course correct now, and I gotta give them some credit. You know, at least they're trying. They're making a Shazam movie. You know, they'll make another Wonder Woman again. People like that. And who knows, when they make Justice League 2, they might actually make the movie correctly, you know, and not go back and reshoot everything after they complete it. And they'll just let one director come in and have a vision and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna execute it this way, and then we're gonna release it the way I want it to be released. I know it's a crazy idea, but when you look back at good movies, that's what they do. It's crazy, right? They have this Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix as Joker. What happened to Jared Leto? I guess he was just an idea.
I'm an idea.
Yeah. DC's big miscalculation this time around is thinking they don't need an artist at the helm. They figured, oh, Zack Snyder messed everything up because his vision sucked. So all the producers got together and said, we'll just make all the decisions now, and that'll be much better. Except these people have no idea how to make a good movie. The mistake wasn't you got a creative person at the helm. The mistake was you got the wrong creative person at the helm. And if you had someone like the guy who's the head of Marvel, you might have actually made something cohesive. Maybe if you let Joss Whedon work on it from the get-go, it would have been better. But having this Frankenstein's monster of a movie is not a good idea.
If I win, Bruce said something about you having to take us all to brunch?
Films can make money and be art at the same time. Sure, they can just be art, but no one goes to see that shit. That's why the USA has the biggest film market at this moment. America knows how to make stupid, big-budget schlock sell like hotcakes. If only DC knew how to do that. I guess Uncle Sam didn't give them instructions on how to do it properly. And that's how a movie like Deadpool 2, a stupid comedy based on a D-list comic character, somehow grosses more money than a tentpole film in a billion-dollar franchise that stars Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, 3 of the biggest superheroes ever, in what is currently a superhero craze. And that's all the money you made? Henry Cavill will no longer be playing Superman. Ben Affleck will no longer be playing Batman. You can even see in the movie that he's trying to, like, hand the reins over to Wonder Woman. He keeps saying things like, oh, you're so good.
You're an inspiration, Diana. You don't just save people. You make them see their better selves.
Geoff Johns, who was the chief creative producer of DC, stepped down as well. Really, the studio is banking on Aquaman to do well, and of course Aquaman looks awful. So what's the core of the problem here? There's obviously a lot of issues, but at the end of the day, the problem with this movie is that it has no vision. It has no one clear vision. It's also played out. We're up to like the 5th version of Batman, the 5th version of Superman. It's an adaptation of a comic book and that was adapted by Zack Snyder, and now we're 10 movies into that. And then you gotta compromise with the producers, and the producers gotta compromise, and it's compromise after compromise after compromise, and before you know it, you have a movie that's made for nobody.
So I don't want to be accused of being over-the-top vitriolic.
You know, some of the criticism is so over-the-top vitriolic.
Especially by overrated, shitty directors. I mean, you guys know me, I'm never over-the-top vitriolic.
I hope you get fucking executed!
So let me cap off this review by giving this movie some compliments. 1. Jason Momoa is built like a fucking brick house. I respect this man's awesome body. He's the real Man of Steel. To hell with Henry Cavill. I'll get there one day, Jason Momoa. 2. Gal Gadot's hot too. Gal Gadot's hot, I respect it. 3. Despite Ben Affleck's crippling alcoholism, you can barely tell in some scenes.
Ralph, my dad is an alcoholic, and I really don't like you making light of alcoholism. It's not a funny issue, okay?
How about you and your stupid alcoholic father learn to take a goddamn joke? To hell with you, to hell with your stupid dad. I hope your dad gets cirrhosis of the liver and dies. Okay, that's it. That's me being positive. There you go.
And that's it. I'm finished. Now all I gotta do is cash this check that Disney wrote me. Every Marvel movie I reviewed, they just paid me to say that stuff. I really hate Marvel. Thank you all so much for watching my show. I really had a great time doing it and everything. But, you know, I'm glad it's over. I'm really glad it's over, and I no longer have to worry about it.
Hey, Ralph, it's me again. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, God. I gotta say my goodbyes now to him. So, Macon, it's been great. Thank you so much for everything. You've been a hilarious co-host and a friend to me. And now that I'm ending the show, I just really hope you go away forever.
Ralph, seriously though, why are you ending your show? It brings you so much fame and money, and it must make you happy to be entertaining millions of people.
Because look at me. I mean, I've been reviewing bad movies for years, and I'm depressed and lonely and sad, and I become a drug addict. You know, I was smoking cigarettes, and then I started smoking weed, and then I went to heroin, and now I'm doing cocaine while I edit, and then I'm also doing fentanyl, and I'm also doing what other drugs are there? I do LSD sometimes, like once every 2 days or so, and then sometimes I do mushrooms when I'm not doing LSD. I like alternate. I have mushrooms Tuesday, and then LSD Wednesday, and then mushrooms Thursday, and then LSD Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday I just do heroin. That's what the YouTuber lifestyle does to you, Macon. You think it's gonna make you this happy guy, you think internet fame is gonna bring you so much happiness, and it doesn't bring you anything, Macon.
You know, all these superficial things like fame and money and being internet famous, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. None of it makes you happy. You know what makes you happy, Macon? Friends and family and purpose in life. I'm gonna get a farm with the mad load of YouTube money I have, and I'm gonna get a horse, and I'm gonna take care of my dog, and I'm gonna have a family. That's what life is about. Life isn't about becoming Instagram famous. If you make your life about that, you're gonna become a shallow husk of a human being. I'm sorry.
No, Macon, it's good. I'm glad we're having this moment. This is a nice way to cap it off. You know, have like some sentimentality.
No, I'm not sorry for that. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do to you.
Surprise, bitch!
Wake up, Ralph. Wake up. You really thought I was just a dumb fan the entire time? Disney planted me, you moron, and I took care of you. I made sure you got your checks okay. Most importantly, I made sure you didn't mess around. They were really pissed when you reviewed Black Panther poorly. But when they heard you were ending your show and you were gonna stop shitting on DC, they were really mad. They were really mad.
Oh my God.
Ralph, the mouse needs you to serve your purpose. And that purpose is to shit on DC consistently. Tarnish their brand so that Marvel stays ahead. That's what they need you to do. That's been your purpose the entire time, you fucking idiot. And as long as you're doing that, you can do whatever you want. You can have whatever horses or dogs, whatever the fuck you want to do. But you better keep shitting on DC, and you better stop criticizing Marvel, or I'm gonna fucking kill you. Now you're gonna announce that you're gonna keep the show going, and you're gonna have a great time, and you're not a drug addict, and you're doing great. That's what I need you to do, goddammit.
Macon, I thought we were friends.
Oh, friends! Oh, now we're friends. Before you called me a retard, whatever the hell, but now that I got you tied up, and it's revealed that I'm actually a badass motherfucker, now you're coming at me. Oh, Macon, you're such a good guy. How about you suck my balls?
Hi, everybody. It's me, Ralph the Movie Maker. And I just wanted to announce that I'm staying. I'm staying for a long time. And, you know what? I decided I had a change of heart, you know? And it's gonna be great. We're gonna have many more years of fun. And,
I look forward to sharing it with you. We're gonna have a great time.
Hi, I'm Ralph, closeted